Hello.
Hello.
You've caught us being extremely prepared. We're
Well,
not sure which game we're doing right now because there is.
okay, cool.
All right,
Perfect.
we got word from the big boss. We're just not gonna do the Navi game. Thanks, LD.
All right. Well, we are into the draft here. It's 4 Protect 5 versus Team Singularity. That was the team that I could not remember the name of for the life of me when we were talking about the Lone Druid eggs that we also saw Team Liquid do.
It's one singularity.
Yeah, one. The Singularity. But it's Team Singularity.
You know that is oxymoronic.
A little bit. It sounds cool, though. I like their team name.
Alright, alright. Let's get back in it. We got the AA pick again, and it seems like at least from sample size of 2, Europe really likes AA.
Yeah, I'm curious. I mean, you have to assume a lot of these teams were scrimming against each other, right?
Sure.
So that maybe this hero has just been predominantly strong in those scrims. I know the hero still has I think a lot to be seen in regards to how useful it can be, because it's been one of those heroes that's been out of the meta for a really long time, and then kind of came back recently. It's been sprinkled in here and there.
Well, I feel like he's been out of the meta for a really long time for a reason, right? And it's not like he's recently got some big buffs, I don't think. Like some of the items he uses got a couple of buffs, like Rod of Atos is now has a better build-up, I want to say.
Yeah, but do you actually ever build that item?
Not unless you're super rich, and if you're super rich, you're building Midases and Axe, right?
The
So
Ice Vortex buff was the biggest one.
right,
The movement speed.
the movement speed and one of his talents actually synergized quite nicely with it. You get, I think, a couple seconds off. I think maybe 1 second off the cooldown of it. So you get to like go ham with it.
Yeah, it's a low cooldown spell.
But the problem is you need to be relatively farmed to have the mana pool to support something like that. But back to my point is, like, you pick AA. To me, he's a big liability in a lot of situations. Like, again, look at these heroes that he's up against. Like, pretty much just gets solo killed.
Maybe they have a Meepo player? Meepo AA?
Okay.
The dream?
So that's the other half, right? The one half of it is using Ice Blast to counter certain lineups that relies too much on heal. The other part of it is taking advantage of Chilling Touch, where I feel like heroes like PA, Weaver, Meeple that you brought up,
Ursa too.
Sure, like they could use that Chilling Touch, but we haven't seen that being paired up either. So we'll see if Singularity will go for the pairing. But
I think that for me personally, whenever I see that hero, I think you almost always want a self-sufficient safe laner, which is why we saw it in the previous game,
right,
from Crescendo. But at the same time, I don't know, it feels very, very difficult to lane him. Like, if you're not doing some kind of tri-lane or your safe lane isn't really easy, then I kind of am in the same boat as you, that I feel like he can feel a bit weak.
You know, I think historically the most success I've seen this hero on is, as opposed to the tri-lane that you're suggesting, is actually a safe lane that could kill. So think of like a Sven AA situation, right? Kofi plus Stormhammer is like, what, 4 seconds of chain stun. So it really pressures a lot of off lanes.
Well, we brought up the point of like AACK, which is one of the classics.
Sure, that's same thing, yeah.
And we talked about that in the previous game as well. So I agree that adding kill potential by having another stun and damage is nice.
Right, so when the off lane gets pressure, right, they can't stay in the lane because of the AA. So they go jungle, and then as the AA, you also get to like pull and jungle a little bit yourself to catch up on level 6, because that's the problem we saw Ake was in last game. He wasn't able to get kills in his lane. He wasn't able to be too successful with this roam, and he wasn't able to pull. And as a result, his level 6 came at like, what, 14 minutes in when his team was already getting dumpstered. So I think it's important for AH to do well on the laning stage, and then also to find a quick level 6.
Well, we'll see if Singularity are able to accomplish that, whereas Crescendo, they went a little bit of a different route. They went the aggro lane and didn't quite have the impact that I think they wanted it to have.
Right.
This time around, they have a lot of team fight disruption between their heroes, like Earthshaker and Nyx. Nyx is obviously top tier material, has been for quite a while. And then Shaker, as a support, I think I am liking him less.
Yes.
And I am liking him as an offlane more.
I feel like if you're looking for this type of hero from a support position, we've been seeing Sand King more on that row.
Oh, Sand King is like OP, first ban.
And then, you know, the funny thing is that Sand King used to be the kind of more of the offlaner, right? And now Earthshaker is more encroaching into that territory. So I felt like they did a little bit of role swap, and now we're gonna see DK being picked up. I guess one of the mid heroes that don't really care if he's silenced too much naturally builds into a BKB somewhere down the line to counter that global anyways.
It's a good matchup against Puck too.
Sure.
It's virtually impossible to harass a DK out of lane.
Yeah.
You start with a poor man's shield, you get your pooled tangos and your branches, and that pretty much just lasts you until you have bottle.
I mean, he's also one of those heroes that if you get coil, he's like, okay, I'm going to stay here for a bit. You're not really going to kill me. I'm going to be tanky. And he also pressured the Puck in a sense that he forces the Puck to stay in the mid lane to trade farm as well, because as soon as Pucks leave, that tier 1 tower is going to take some significant damage to the level 1 dragon. So
yeah, it's very true.
There's
one thing, though, to note about both of these teams so far is that they have very limited playmaking heroes. Like, nothing on this team of Singularity or really 4 Protect 5, barring the Puck hitting 6, allows you to really secure kills.
Are you talking about early game?
Yeah, early game.
Okay, I was going to say, if there's Nyx,
of
there's
course,
Shaker,
like, later on, once they
yeah.
get levels, they will be able to kill. But like, prior to 6, who is pressuring? Like, what hero is walking around and saying, okay, you have to pay attention to me in some way, or I'm taking something away from you? You don't really see that. So I think what Singularity wants to do is really play around very safe lanes. And I think that kind of is more conducive to what AA wants as well. He just wants to be able to pull. He just wants to get farm. He just wants to hit 6. And then once the DK gets Dragon Form, then like you mentioned, you start seeing some Tower Siege, some AA Blasts, potentially a Shaker Blink at a decent timing. So I think that the idea of what they want to do seems strong, considering that 4 Protect 5 are also kind of in the same boat. Maybe less so with Lina now. Lina does add some early game kill potential.
Yeah, I think Lina in particular gives you such high burst kill on DK, especially with, let's say, the rotation of whatever their last pick support is. Hopefully will give a little bit more edge over to DK. And now in Puck in the offlane, I imagine.
Yeah, they're thinking it as well. They banned the Tide. So offlane Puck, mid Lina. I kind of like that.
Wait, if you're expecting an offlane Puck, why would you ban Tide?
Oh, sorry, I mean mid Puck.
Isn't Lina mid now?
Well, they banned it after the fact, right? Because they picked DK first, and then they took Lina. And then they banned Tide after. Or am I just completely wrong?
I think you're... Maybe I'm wrong, but before the Tide ban, they knew the Puck is offlane.
Well, that's
already,
the last ban
right?
phase, right? So they had to have picked Lina first.
What?
Yeah, think about it. So they pick their second stage heroes, right? And then you get the last ban, and then you get last pick.
Okay, so they pick Lina. That's their mid. That means Puck is offlane as well, right?
Well, assuming it's not Lina support.
Right, so that's why I'm going back to the question, is it Lina support?
Well, I guess we're going to find out.
We still don't know 100%.
Yeah, it's pretty ambiguous the way that they pick their heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
I'm kind of leaning towards Slardar support, to be honest. I think he can, in that position, I think he actually functions the best out of their heroes.
Yep.
He's got good mobility, low mana cost stun. He can get around the map. Lina is a bit clunky as a support, I feel, if you don't have another thing to set her up.
Yeah, if Lina is your support, then you want the other support to be able to set up, like you said, a stun for him. We saw earlier today when Sven was paired with the Lina as dual supports roaming around. I believe TNC was the team that ran that, and or was it a different team? But
it sounds like a Tim's hero, so I believe it.
Oh no, it was a team that played against TNC. It was GeekFam, I think. No, it was Mushi's team. Okay, that's for sure.
Mineski?
Mineski.
Okay.
Yeah. This always happened.
I don't think I saw that game.
Yeah, this always happened in like all these hubs where you cast like 80 different teams back to back.
Okay, last pick here. We're looking for a safe lane hero.
Exactly, a carry hero for Team Singularity.
I wonder if they just go for the full greed. Just pick like a Terrorblade or something. Just get in there.
Terrorblade into Alina?
Well,
sounds risky.
With the way that they're playing, they have all very like safe-ish heroes, you know. They have good save with the Shaker, 5-man siege. I mean, they would have loved to get their hands on a hero like Jug, because they do need some sustain as well.
Right.
But obviously, 4 Protect 5 took it early. Okay, it's going to be the lane counter, the Razor.
Okay.
Obviously good against Jug. Pretty good against Slardar as well. He is susceptible to getting chunked down pretty hard, though, just because of Corrosive Haze. It's very strong against Razor. Although you don't really like casting it on him as
you
a
lose
Slardar.
sprint immediately.
Yeah,
like
you just get your
bad.
thing removed and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
But you can still get bursted pretty heavily.
I actually think it's, like you said, picked more for the lane counter, because what the hell is Puck going to do in the lane when he just walks up to you and link you?
Well, the Puck can get away.
I mean, he could get away, but under farm Puck, like this is why this hero is not that popular in the off lane, right? Because if he doesn't have a good laning stage.
He is definitely a popular off laner.
Okay, let me exchange my word. It's a risky off laner. If you don't do well in the laning stage, he's donezo in the game, right?
It depends on how much kill potential your team has with just the use of coil. So if you get 6 or 7, even if you're not really hitting creeps, if you can coil into kills.
This is a carry Puck. 5 is playing it. Looks like they're gonna safe lane the Puck and go offensive against the Razor.
Interesting. No, they're swapping again.
Okay.
You're being debated.
All right. Long have we waited?
I think Puck is actually in a better spot now than he's ever been.
With
or it, he, she, whatever. The dragon.
Okay. That base damage increase definitely helped out.
Well, the base damage increase helped. The talents helped tremendously. Even back when the GPM talent was pre-buff, I think it was like 300 or something like that.
Yes,
now
it was. Yep.
Now it's 420, so it's ridiculous. Ridiculous to a point where I think there's almost never a case to get the illusory speed damage. It just doesn't even make sense. It's just so much better. It's like the Queen level 25. Who is ever going to take 550 Shadow Strike AoE? You got to be playing against 5 melee heroes to make that worth it.
And it's still not worth it.
It's still not worth it. Okay, so let's see the way the lanes are shaping up here. Edakaka actually gets his ward down. Smoke broken though, so I'm assuming
that ward be donezo.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's gonna be.
He's gonna just like
chunk
this AA. Oh my god, he doesn't have boots, so AA needs to rely on a little bit of juking. Exotic there gets in position, or goes out. The nice thing about Edakaka, he's probably could make it to the fountain if he wants that little bit extra heal. Probably doesn't care about it too much.
He'll be alright.
Yeah.
In the early game, I think Singularity have, with their heroes, I guess it's offlane Shaker, AA Nyx, there is very little kill potential. Like, very, very little. There's going to be a lot of farming on the side of Singularity.
Yep.
And then on the side of 4 Protect 5, you still have a chance to get kills because you have the double stun. I wouldn't be surprised to see E-Skills play similarly to what they did against Crescendo and just have him sit mid. Just try to give him that advantage, because even though it's a DK and it's really hard to effectively zone a DK, Lina always gets her creeps. Like that's the one thing about that hero. You have to actively send heroes to shut her down to prevent her lane from going well.
And I think Shaker is going to be that hero. If you look at the lanes that Shaker could block and actually set up a kill.
As an offlane though?
Well, I suppose if he's having a tough time, then he'll leave the lane. But you're right. I guess if he has good experience, a good time getting that experience, he'll just stay stopping top. I guess Nyx is going to be doing that job instead.
I feel the roaming Shaker is super weak when you have a mid like DK, because sure, he offers a stun and a nuke, but it's a melee range stun. It's not really all that impressive, and it's very hard to get off. Plus, it doesn't deal damage. Like 25 damage is not. It's not sufficient, I think, to really warrant trying to gank for it.
I think the other thing is that by taking the stun, you have less level into Dragon Blood, and let me tell you, that DK is going to get a lot of harass.
I don't even think he's going to skill stun.
Yeah,
honestly.
that's exactly. I don't think he should.
You get that 3-0-2 going.
Yep.
Just infinite regen, can't be killed.
Well, I wouldn't say infinite, but
he is doing super well on these first 2 waves. My God, 8 and 2.
All right, got the range deny at least for a slash right.
Yep. This man is going in. Okay, a little bit of recovery here. But as long as his tangos last him until bottle, he's golden. That's really all you need.
I say it looks like it will last. SNG begins the pull here. And a lot of creeps will be denied. My hypothesis is that Edakaka is going to have a hard time here laning, but we'll see if that is actually going to be the actuality.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that's a level 1 mana burn Nyx.
Right.
K-Core is just blasting into the face.
Okay, E-Skill's gonna rotate around. Last game we saw him have huge impact on the mid lane. This time though, gonna try sub a kill. That's a level 1 Dragon Slave just to make sure they get the stun. And now Fiery Soul being buffed up. A lot more right click coming in. Nisha in a lot of trouble. He's gonna cut through. Very nicely done. Now Tower helping out on Slash Strike. Aggro being repulled. Nisha breaks some angle.
Yo, that man came from the school of Jimmy Demon Ho.
Yeah.
He knows those tree paths.
And like you said, those tangos last right through to the bottle, which he will be bottle crawling now. But oh, that is a slow-moving donkey.
I don't know if he can get it though. He's not gonna see the courier go back. Yeah, he's sending it the long way.
There's the double damage of Slash Strike.
Double damage, but no bottle just yet. Should be able to CS under the tower though pretty easily.
Oh, they're gonna try again? There's no way, right? No mono.
No, he doesn't have enough damage. He's just being annoying.
All right. I don't want to say lane 1, but doing all right here for Nisha.
It's enough for Slash Strike just to recover. You know, like we said, Lena's always going to get the farm.
Top lane, Pato's in a lot of trouble.
Easily. Not even close. That's the one downside to having the silencer support. You don't have the guaranteed kill on the offlane because you don't offer a stun.
All right, attempt number 3 on Nisha mid. LSA will land. Right clicks are coming through. Bottle being churned through here for Slash Strike as well. Defensive TP will come here from Kankor. Ooh.
Nice.
Okay.
The Spite mana burn. It actually cost him more mana to use that mana burn than what he burned from a Slash Strike.
It is a message that you send.
Yeah. To be honest, I think even without the TP, Nisha was perfectly fine. He didn't even, like, pop a bottle charge between autos. He had a full bottle while they were chasing him. He just didn't even use any of it. Ooh, misses the stun here.
Slash Strike may actually just die here, right?
He doesn't have stun skill, the DK.
They're gonna chase. We do have the Impale coming up
Oh, he doesn't
a couple
have
of
boots.
seconds.
Yeah,
Impale?
he's dead. He doesn't have boots.
All right, last hit will go to Nisha. What a support player. Sets up the kill. Gives the first blood.
Yeah, the courier usage, I think. Does he have boots on the courier? No. Okay, well, did he have money? No, he didn't. Okay, so I guess the courier usage shouldn't kill him. I was going to say, if he had boots and his team was using the courier, then that's probably why he got kind of caught in that awkward spot. But this is what I was talking about. You know, you have to send heroes to Lena's lane. They're going to get a return kill here, though.
Yep, they will. Was close a little bit. And now, there is a stun being skilled up right there. And now the Kofi will tick in as well. They do get the 1 kill. A rare scene you see. AA helping out and getting something done early.
Maybe as rare as the 2-1-2 DK build.
Yeah, man. But that was clutch, right? The 2-1-2 DK build was necessary to actually set up that kill.
Oh, I wasn't saying it was the wrong play. I'm just admiring the fact that it happened.
It's a good play.
You were talking about this puck early on and him struggling.
Is he in Struck City? Population?
He's got a couple of CS, but the thing about Nyx,
I mean, he's the same level as the Nyx, so...
It's so hard to trade with Nyx, because he's got so much base regen. Even without a Stout Shield, you know, K-Core is just totally cool with going in there and just blasting him.
I mean, he's also laning against Razor, which is, like, not exactly the friendliest hero to lane against.
Middle lane, collapse here. Good stun.
He's
able to just walk it off. So it seems like 4 Protect 5 are really playing around this idea of having the silencer just pretty much for global and global only. So you have this initiation of, you know, potentially a blink puck, if and when it happens, into a global silence, and then maybe even a blink Slardar. So they have very strong initiation, very momentum-driven lineup here. But if you can break that chain of initiation, you know, via an Earthshaker or any way of dispelling the silence, I think it's going to be really hard for 4 Protect 5 to...
It's going to be a while before they get that. I mean, I mentioned...
Of course, yeah.
DK being the hero that gets the early BKB, but still, like, even he is going to go for, let's say, Power Treads, you know, Shadow Blade or Blink or something like that before. Nisha going to get pummeled into the trees again, but he'll be fine. You mentioned the initiation with the global. The one thing I like about the 4 Protect 5 lineup is that they also have the burst damage to take advantage of that disable, right? Like Lina comes through, the Omni Slash as well, so they'll get a lot of things done under that duration of the global as well.
They definitely can kill pretty much anybody.
Yeah.
As long as they don't have a BKB. That's one thing where I guess you could consider it maybe a slight weakness in the lineup, is that their straight up physical damage is not great.
Okay. Seen this pull. Looks sweet every single time. But I never knew the timing. Fissure at 11. And then walk to the right.
Yep. Pretty OP.
Yep. Every time they nerf the fissure pull, players find a different way to do it.
I think it's very difficult to prevent it entirely.
Yeah.
They did the same thing with hooks, right? So if you move a creep, it like doesn't aggro or something for a couple of seconds.
But this is like the most natural way to do it, right? You actually physically walk into the back here. Back in the mid lane, Nisha pops the Dragon Form, goes right on Slash Strike, dodges the LSA. Very nicely done so far. Needs another Fire Breathe to get the kill, or no, just gonna right-click him down. In fact, he's gonna turn now onto Dancing Dragon. And Dancing Dragon is gonna be going down. Nisha.
He is going ham, dude. He is going super ham. But the thing is, like, the Lina still doesn't have boots. He got him after he died. He had the boots in the well on the courier. So he just gets ran at.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually gotten him killed 2 times, the fact that he went for the greedy Soul Ring purchase instead of just buying boots.
Didn't help that he misses LSA either, but
well, yeah, but
hard to land that one against.
The DK gets bonus movement speed from popping ulti as well.
Right. Well, we'll miss this one as well. Pops Illusion Rune, but here comes E-Skill to help him out, but he also needs to back it off. This is the most value I've ever seen out of the first usage of a Dragon Form. We'll hit the building a little bit as well.
Seriously. He is doing so much work.
Alright, the Terror will end. He's back to a Knight.
Okay, so Puck hits a 9-minute level 6. That's not that bad. I mean, sure, he's not getting farm, but he's got coil. And coiling against this team is not difficult. No one really has an escape mechanism. So against some lineups as a Puck, you kind of want Blink because you need to be able to get in and get the silence and the coil to prevent them from escaping. On this lineup, all you have to do is really just cast the coil, and then you can orb in or whatever if you want to do it that way.
By that logic, do you think he will maybe delay the Blink by going for the Veil, or just still straight Blink? Because it's
well, because he's off lane, I think he'll probably just go straight Blink.
Okay.
Veil is one of those things where you do it when you're mid because the double null feels good to have just for CS.
The build up is nice.
Yeah,
and like you mentioned last game, it's also a very... Yeah, they are going to coil an exotic there, and will go down, not before dishing out a little bit more magic damage. The core comes in as well. Echo Slam on 5-5. Gotta get himself out of there. His skill comes in. Nice Impale hitting through on the Puck as well, but the Healing Ward has been dropped, so everybody will be fine.
But that's it right there. As soon as he hits 6, they send 2 heroes down, they coil the Razor, they get a kill. It's not like the Blink isn't 100% necessary to initiate. People have this idea of, okay, well, I need Blink to get in. That's not actually true. You very seldom need it to get in. The reason why you want the Blink is because you don't have to use your orb to get in. Then you can orb out, and you prevent yourself from dying.
It helps your initiation to be a little bit more precise. And like you said, against heroes like, let's say, Weaver and Ember that we saw from the last game, having a Blink to land that silence is very key. Nisha completes his mid-game destruction, or mid-lane destruction rather. Right now finishing the tier 1. He's having an amazing Dragon.
It was a really solid pick. And again, it's about the way that the lanes break down. No playmaking heroes on the side of 4 Protect 5 really prior to 6. A Slardar and a Silencer can really only do so much.
Oil against the Shaker. Nice 2-man waiting whiff. There's a tower. There's a kill, and now the Impale would miss as well. I'm not sure if they're going to tower dive that. They got the Healing Ward. Ooh, nice bait on the animation cancel on that Crush. Does not get spiked. Gets a 2-man stun. Now gets the light onto Nisha and Apparition. But the TP is all coming in. And 5 will back it up. Very good play under the enemy tower. 5 getting all of his damage drained, but I think he should be fine.
Yeah, he's going to spin out. Ever since that Puck hit 6-man.
Yeah.
Just non-stop gaming. Every time cools off cooldown, Edakaka just gets one out. Like you mentioned, E-Skills hitting the level 6 on top of that, so the Corrosive Haze helps supplement their lack of physical damage. That'll help later on cut through the DK.
And before that, they didn't have global. Now, because of the constant rotation of the Juggernaut, looks like Dancing Dragon picks up a 6 as well. So they'll have it for the next fight. But in the meantime, Nisha and friends will take down the tower. And this is a Hood DK build. Every time I've seen this build, it loses. But maybe with the beautiful start that he has, he could afford to actually fit this Hood into his build.
The Hood DK is interesting to me because it's a lot better in the early game because of how fast you can buy it. And then you're not wasting BKB charges. Yes. That's the one thing about DK that can really bite you is if you're having a great game and you buy a really early BKB, like prior to having more than just like an armlet, for example, and those BKB charges don't just completely seal you the game or put you in such an advantageous spot that it's very hard to lose, then the BKB starts to feel pretty bad.
Ooh, perfect chain stun coming through here. And oh, meanwhile, it looks like we're going to see on the back line, gets a tower on the way out. Okay.
Nicely done.
That was a great trade. I think 5 will take that. They lose a 5 position support. They get a tier 1.
They're going to lose their safe lane tier 1, though, in the process. Looks like K-Core is going to be the one they're sending mid to try to stop this, but they're going to need more than just him.
Well, teleports are coming as well. It's going to be the Shaker. Visual's going to come through. They have a TP back in. The DK stun, or the DK TP rather, going to be a little bit late, but doesn't matter. Edekaka comes around, tries to actually get a lot of things done. K-Core dropping low. Don't break that coil, my friend. He should be fine, and he is. 1-for-1 trade. Tower gets protected. Top tower, though, for them. 4 Protect 5 will not get dropped because of all the TP.
Looks like they didn't want to go for a trade. Usually when you feel like you're ahead, trading towers is a bad thing.
Right.
Because you feel like you should be able to, with your resources, be able to defend every time and push. But at the end of the day, 4 Protect 5 will walk away with the tier 1 kill.
Top lane, Puck rotating as well. Coil on cooldown. A lot of movement from this game. Very entertaining to watch.
A lot of it's just about getting the tier 1s. Obviously, a lineup with the DK wants those towers down as soon as humanly possible. You want to pop Dragon Form basically as soon as it's up, walk to a tower and hit it. That's the DK way.
Nice
and that's why
coming in, not gonna hit. They know that the Illusion Orb was down for a bit, so that's why they made that play, but not find the man for the Dragon.
Should be a relatively easy tower. In the meantime, though,
they're taking too long for these tower pushes. Like mid goes down almost.
They can TP bottom. I think they're
yeah,
okay.
but look at the damage. What is the meme now? Unhealable damage.
Unhealable damage. That was just a Grant meme, though. He's been saying that for years, actual years.
Well, good thing it caught on.
Sometimes it takes a little while, you know.
He's a man ahead of his times.
Seems like for the moment, they really just want to get Edekaka his blink on the side of 4 Protect 5. He's got a free lane now. They killed the tier 1. Well, I say free. He could actually get DK stunned here. He's cutting through the tree line. This is some next level planning.
I mean, some would say Harriet Tubman, the railroad to freedom or something like that. So that change where the Dragon Tail was a projectile made a difference there, right? Because Puck would likely not be able to phase that if it was the old DK.
You could make the argument that he was trying to phase shift the Ice Blast too, and that he just so happened to dodge the DK stun. But either way, like you did pretty much hit the nail on the head. Projectile DK stun.
5 going on the building. The good old spin attack. Gets the tower. Gets out. So earlier I've been ragging on the Puck a little bit, and like you mentioned, every time he's got coil, he's doing work. Hold that thought here as now the fight comes in. The Ice Blast, that is going to be 1 on Slash. Right, Global comes out. Ooh, he TP's home, but the Ice Blast on top of his head. He goes down anyways, shattered and crumbling in his own base.
The DK passive plus the Ice Blast killed him pretty fast.
Yep.
Good stuff. You were talking about the Puck though?
Yeah, I was kind of ragging on the Puck a little bit, you know, saying he hasn't done much, or his lane stage won't be good, but every time he's got the coil and cooldown, he's been effective. And, you know, to rag on the other offlaner a little bit, Shaker, His effect, to me, hasn't really been felt too much. He's had a good fissure here or there to lead up a couple of stuns, but he desperately needs that blink.
He's making his way towards it. With the way that the lanes have gone, and the team fights, I think Puck has been at more of them than the Shaker.
Right.
So he went for Soul Ring Tranks. Puck has Treads with the Magic Wand. They spent, I guess, the Earthshaker spent more money towards other items than Blink. And he will be at about the same pace as the Puck, maybe a minute or two behind. And that's not too bad. As long as the echoes are good, that's really all that matters. If your Blink is a couple of minutes late, not really a huge deal. It just depends on how you use it, Lumi.
Yep.
It's not the size that matters or the timing.
Oh, let me tell you, I know about the size. It's not what it matters.
And this is one of those games where team fights are probably going to end up being the make or break for both teams.
Sure.
Maybe a bit more so for Protect 5 because they do have the global and the coil. They're a bit more ultimate reliant. And then you have Singularity, who it's pretty much just Ice Blast and Echo. That's like their 2 long cooldowns. And Ice Blast isn't even that long.
And this DK is going to be super tanky. He's got the Armlet as his next follow-up item. With that Armlet activated, he's going to be over 2,000 health with a bunch of magic resist against Lina, Puck. It's going to be a hard one to take down. Meanwhile, Exotic Dare finds an enemy stack in the woods.
Smoke up here from 4 Protect 5, going for the smoke into our own vision play. That's pretty much what you want to do. Smoke where you have vision. Try to take a fight. You got the Blink Dagger on E-Skills now. So that's Blink on the Puck, I believe, as well. Yep. So their initiators have everything that they need to start fights. And they have the uses of global. Theoretically, this is one of the strongest points in the game for this team. They have the core items. They have every ultimate. They're going to be able to secure this tier 2 with no contention whatsoever coming out.
Yeah, it seems like Singularity, despite having a very strong frontliner in the form of the DK, they're really unwilling to contest these towers. Maybe they're waiting for Nisha's Blink. He's very close to it right now. Gonna set up a gank here perhaps for the Lina that's porting in, but again, without the Blink, it's hard to actually set up that initiation to be precise and accurate and fast.
He's only 50 away. He'll be able to secure it soon.
Right, well, also having it now for this fight, right?
Oh god, Silencer player, you are in the wrong neighborhood.
Okay. Well, they will have the Echo Slam still available, Slash Strike being perhaps haunted a little bit, but now that is going to open up that tower without the global, the threat of the global. They're too likely to get chunked down before the Silencer even revives.
Well, without the Silencer, it is a lot more risky to fight. Because the Shaker, like, even if you assume the Shaker doesn't have Blink, right? Just throwing out a Fissure at some point can be really, really annoying. So if you don't have the usage of Global,
yep,
you always have to consider the Earthshaker as one of your biggest threats as a counter initiator.
I would say that if the Silencer is on the map, I don't think Shaker could even play that well of a counter initiation, right?
No, absolutely not. That's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
If the Silencer is alive and has Global, the benefit of playing that hero against someone like Earthshaker is that Earthshaker typically wants to wait. He wants to wait until he has a good opportunity to go in, or to save somebody, or to land like a 3 or 4 man Echo, the Dream. But it doesn't normally happen that way against someone like Silencer who can just sit out of the fight. He doesn't even have to be there. He just has to cast Global at a good time. Like when his initiating heroes go in, he can just Global on top of that. Very easy to execute. Guarantees that the Shaker can't do anything until he has either a Yule's or a Lotus Orb.
Alright, my camera has been following this Nyx. He's literally been in this spot for like the past 30 seconds. Not sure.
He's scouting for his team, and he's
right.
going to find a
Got
Dancing
him.
Dragon.
Alright, no Silencer. I think we had this discussion before, but
Yep.
this time around looks like they were... they're probably not going to be getting too many objectives off of it because the lanes are a little bit too pushed.
Same story though. I don't think that 4 Protect 5 are necessarily looking for an engagement without that hero being alive. Because no matter how under-farmed he is, and no matter how under-leveled he is...
Wait. They will look for engagement if it's a solo pickoff. Shaker will get bit.
Wow. lingering a little bit too long, I guess. Maybe they didn't think that 4 Protect 5 would still be in the area with that many heroes. But they also have a ward at the shrine, and they didn't see anyone moving on that side of the map. So a little bit of a misjudgment, I guess you could say, from the Earthshaker. He does have his blink though already, so it's not like he's getting put back from any real big item going towards the Force Staff next.
Well, we got a relatively close game in terms of the net worth, only slightly 2,000 net worth ahead here for Singularity. Blink stunt here for the Lina.
Oh my god, he's
yep. That is going to be good. Global coming out late as well, trying to prevent that kill from happening, or perhaps pick off a couple more hero. The spike answering back. The Fidger's going to be there. That's going to be 1 blink stun again on the puck, and that's going to be 2 and 3. The Lina did revive because of the Bloodstone, but damn, it's bad. And Dancing Dragon did commit the global as well. This is a long timing window for Singularity to actually push, and they're setting up shop on the mid lane. But Dragon Form does end. Will they back off because Dragon Form ended? I don't think so.
He's got a regen. I don't think they back off.
Yeah. Let me tell you, Armlet DK can still hit decent amount.
Yeah, for sure. This guy is super tanky as well. Going for the AC next. I like it. He did have the Shadow Blade queued a little while ago, but I think he's just realizing that if they keep finding 1 or 2 pickoffs before the fight really goes down, that they can easily siege. I mean, they can even go for Roshan if they want. They don't kill it super fast, but it will be relatively safe just because of how tanky the DK is. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Shadow Blade and Blink are somewhat interchangeable as an initiating tool anyways, and he's already got the one.
Well, if you have a Nyx, I would make the argument that Shadow Blade is worse because they're going to be buying detection anyway.
For sure.
And it's much cheaper than Shadow Blade.
By breaking out, DK going to be in the front. And now the chain stun's going to be on the slaughter. But what a waning rip here, canceling the chain stun. Ice Blast coming in. The Shrine going to get somewhat negated because of Ice Blast. K-Core will go down. Omni Slash flying about. DK taking most of that one. And now 5 popping that healing ward. Nice micro, keeping alive. Oh no, actually going to get right clicked down by Exotic here. 5 running away. Nicely played here by the AA, providing vision and slow through his Ice Vortex. We'll land one on 5 relatively soon. Blink coming back in here. Nisha, wow, the walking away here, knowing his teammate will get the kill. Slash Strike looking at TP out. Will he make it home? No stuns. But still, a very costly fight here for Protect 5.
Was that the plan the whole time, Lumi? To pick AA just for the one Shrine fight?
I mean, let me tell you, this AA has done a lot more than that. The Ice Blast on point every single time, and that Ice Vortex allowing these like random small nukes like Refire, Fissure to like just do that extra bit of damage. Very decent.
30%. And then the cool thing about Ice Vortex is it's not magic resistance that they're reducing, it's magic damage increase. Which I believe works differently. Maybe my math is wrong, but I'm pretty sure that the way that it functions is actually better than like reducing the magic resist of your opponent.
I will not confirm or deny that as
well, that's what it says. It says increased magic damage, not
yeah.
spell resistance.
That's for sure, but I'm not sure whether the second statement of it's better is true or not. But I have not worked out the math myself.
Well, at this stage, there is definitely a clear advantage for Singularity, no question there. The one thing that 4 Protect 5 can do, though, is they do have a Slardar. And Slardar is exceptionally good at sneaking Roshan. So if they wanted to, they could buy a smoke. They could look for 1 kill. Doesn't really even matter who it is. Like, all of them are worth killing. And then they could try to take the Roshan. I think due to Singularity's team composition, it's a bit more risky for them. We already talked about how it would be a bit slow. So, yeah, they are going to smoke. Okay. They have the Slardar here. Question is, who do they find? Or they just go straight in?
Dude.
Okay, they're just going to go straight in.
I mean, the
you
risk,
can do this too.
Yeah, the risk here is that if you do discover the Ice Blast is going to be extremely painful. But they will not get discovered, I don't think. And they will get away with it for free. And the Kaka has an Invis rune, so he's going to dodge the K-Core gank as well. All right. This is what they need really to kind of get back into this game, as they are a little bit behind now.
The Aegis is going to help tremendously. It's not like The Jug isn't under-farmed at all. Like, he's right up there with the Razor, the other position 1. The difference between the DK and the Lina is apparent just because of, you know, how the laning phase went, Nisha getting those 2 kills. I think that after the game, you know, Slash Strike is going to be kind of looking back and going, man, I really think I just should have bought boots instead of going for the full soul ring.
That gave Nisha quite a bit of edge on the mid lane. Speaking of which, I want to talk about the item that's being delivered to him. You know, I feel like this is a very good hero to do one of those Reddit threads. Guess the hero based on item build.
Lotus is very, very good in this situation if you think that you're just going to end the game. Because Lotus removes the one thing that makes you super squishy, which is the Corrosive Haze.
For sure.
It can reflect Omni Slash, which is another one of the big threatening abilities for you.
Well,
you can,
sorry, keep going.
I'm just saying, it like reflects all the single target kill you abilities. Spin here from 5.
Okay. Force.
It's a dead Nyx. Oh, he has Force actually.
Force away, and now he's got the creep wave to dodge a little bit on Omni Slash and Mana Burn. Omni Slash will fly through and a couple crits in there. Looks like they still want to perhaps fight this. Despite that, Slash Strike scouting out ahead, looking for a random pick. We're not finding it.
I will say that if the game continues to stretch on, that Lotus Orb will become less of what he wants it to be. Because he is in actuality playing a physical damage dealing core on his team. And if he continues to make these items that don't really increase his damage output, but just increase his survivability, there will come a point where he will no longer be an effective hero hitter. You know what I mean? Like, he'll pretty much just be a walking stun. Which is okay if the Nyx, the Razor, you know, the Shaker can supplement the damage output for the team. But if he keeps building this way and they don't get a Rax, or they don't like get some kind of economical damage dealt to 4 Protect 5, then I think that this build might come back to bite him a bit.
I mean, I agree with everything you said so far in terms of like keeping him alive and, you know, like basically removing all threat of death, at least momentarily. But isn't AC like just in every way better? It doesn't reflect the Omni Slash. There's that.
I think he just wants the Dispel and the capability of reflecting stuff like Laguna and Omni. And also, it does remove Global on top of everything else.
Okay, that's a big one too. That's
so he can remove Global from his teammates. Like, I don't even know if he would Lotus himself unless he was just sieging the tower. Like, if he's sitting at tier 3, he'll probably Lotus himself.
Yeah.
But if they're just team fighting, I'm not sure.
I totally forgot about that fact that, you know, he is playing against Global, so.
Because I think if you were just going to buy an item for yourself, you would just buy BKB at this point, right? Because you can BKB, hit the tower, or if they commit to you and they pop Global, you just BKB and hit stuff. Because realistically, if you see a BKB Dragon Form DK, you're not going to kill it on 4 Protect 5 if he has a team behind him.
Most likely not. I mean, there's still like, hey, I light you up with the Haze, Omni Slash, but at the end of the day, he's still a goddamn DK, right? Like, you're not gonna bring him down that easily. But he does have the now AC queued up back up again, so starting to run out of item slots. Could get rid of that bottle.
He'll sell the hood at some point. I think buy BKB.
They ping out 5. They know that's the real one. K-Core could pop out and just invis.
Slardar also has invis.
Alright, here comes the Mana Burn Pale. They blinks on the back lane. They want the silencer first. No Global for this fight, they say. There's that Global popping out. Dancing Dragon, first one down. 5, half HP already. He's running away. He's getting linked up. Does he have a teleport out? That is the question. He does have the Aegis, so it looks like he wants to fight, but not before giving away a whole bunch of damage. They see the Slaughter on the left side. Slaughter is dead. Slash Strike's being chased away. The Fissure will hit, and now he goes down as well. 5 without damage, coming out back alive. Echo Slam onto 2. Enchant Totem on 1. 5 is dead. Puck, only one alive right now, might blink out. He does blink to the right side. Just kidding. A party following him. Nisha beyond godlike with a double kill. Slaughter did buy back as well, but I don't think they care. They are going to just go down mid and take some Raxes.
That fight was very chaotic. They start off by forcing the silencer to Global. He dies like right after the fact. So it wasn't a Global used in the, I guess, appropriate way. He just knew he was going to die.
Right.
So he had to throw it out. They get a nice stun on the 2 heroes in the mid lane from the Slardar, but the follow-up just wasn't there. So then they get into this really awkward chase. Looks like we're going to see another stun here on the E skills. And tier 3 at least could be dropping here.
Well, Nisha is just taking a bunch of that damage. Looks like he will get forced back a little bit. And
it's 20 HP.
I mean, mean, 20 HP is not equal to 0, so those shrines are still protected for now.
Yeah, this is like one of those awkward situations where you know that the next time that the enemy team walks up the lane, they're probably going to get the tower, but you really don't want to deny it.
Yeah,
because then your shrines are vulnerable, and then it just feels really, really bad.
Oh, Nisha.
This DK has played a spectacular game of Dota 2, I must say. I know that DK is not like one of the flashiest heroes. It's not like an Invoker or, you know, a Puck or something like that where you're just like in awe of mechanical skill.
They know that 5 is
oh my god,
not tanky, and they make short work of him. He's gonzo.
He did go for the damage over the health talent too, so he went for a little bit of greed. He went back for the armor.
Well, at least the mid tower got denied. Slash Strike ports back in. The dust a little bit late, but the Rack Siege still looking pretty good. DK walks in, just hunting for some initiation. All right, 2-man coil, gonna be good, but where's the follow-up? Here comes the 2-man stun as well. They're gonna blow things up here, but here comes the Echo Slam, breaking things up on Slash Strike. Global's gonna come through as well, but I just feel like they just lack damage. Nisha sits in the front with this build, and he's just unkillable. Second round of initiation on him again. They silence, they stun him up, but on the back line though, Shaker comes in again. Slash Strike finds the kill this time around, and without the Lina, they really have no chance of killing the DK. The Medraxis goes down, and everybody backs off for Singularity.
Nisha's now got enough for his heart too. They can just walk, kill the shrines, go secure the heart, walk to another lane. Looking like a pretty convincing victory, to be honest.
Yeah.
I felt like 4 Protect 5 had this lineup that was capable of taking these mid-game fights, but man, that DK just did way too much work. It's not often that you see a game like this where the DK is actually just crushing. He's just killing people. Most of the time you see like the team-oriented DK where he's walking with some heroes and hitting some buildings. This is a multi-purpose Dragon Knight that we are witnessing here. He's like the utility knife of DKs.
He played it just well as Parker did in the KBU show match.
Yep.
I'm not sure if you watched that game, but
I did.
the Crocodile was strong in that one too.
I do think that the pick in of itself was really strong for this matchup because he's a natural BKB carrier. Oh my god,
Goodbye,
you're just
friend.
dead.
Oh, I love that. You see that walk away from explosion? He's like, we got this.
He's just trying to get his AA some gold, you know?
Yeah. All right, Nisha in the front.
Yeah, but you can tell by the way he itemized that he had a very specific idea in mind, like of how fast he wanted to end the game.
I mean, before kids, you try this at home, you gotta keep in mind the time that he got this item as well. I think that hood is that effective because of how early he got it, like you mentioned earlier. Like, if you get it like 5 minutes later, I think this hood has much weaker impact.
Oh, I agree completely. It's just the item that you buy when you want to actually eat spells, but you don't want to buy a BKB.
All right, Slash Strike again, getting all of the love. She goes down. No Dragon Slave, at least not right now. E-Skills gets a pretty good stun. Nina buys back, but the Raxes are gone already.
They are trading bottom.
Okay,
5 is
Koyo.
going for the melee Rax.
Koyo cancels a couple of TP, so they're committed for good here. Nice 2-man fissure. Range Rax now being pummeled in by Nisha. And Juggernaut cleaning up on the bottom side.
He gets bottom.
Yeah, not bad. In fact, they might get a little bit more here. That spike on point here. E-Skill isolated. The global is going to be there, so that AI splash just flies through, but they don't care. They get 2 kills, and that's a dieback on Lina. Dashing Dragon, look at TPL. Nice joke. He goes down, and oh, they're going to just go for the throne. Silencer buys back. Okay, they're going to switch target, go for the triple racks. Pretty good stuff there.
It's a safe play. I mean, there's only 3 alive.
Oh, force that back into the stun. What a play here by Singularity. That Juggernaut poured it in and just died. Ultra kill on Exotic there. And make that a rampage. Singularity. Great play. Makes it look easy.
You could tell that when the mid game came around, because of 4 Protects 5, that like their lack of ability to get kills in the lane, I think is what hurt them the most. But that's what happens when you pick heroes like Silencer support, you know. You have to be able to make it to the mid game while still being able to win your lanes. And I feel like, you know, their safe lane probably did fine. It was a Shaker off lane, so you don't really expect a Shaker to beat a Juggernaut plus anything, because Juggernaut's one of the most stable safe laners. But middle lane, definitely lost.
Yep.
Off lane, obviously going to lose. But you don't have anything to fall back on.
You know, I mostly agree with you, except for that there's like a 5 to 7 minutes period where Edakaka was just going off with the puck, right? Every time Coil was ready, he was like, okay, let's get a kill, let's get a kill. And they were relatively successful for a bit. So I felt like they, for Protect 5, did have a decent-ish mid-game, and then they got the Roshan sneak with the good smoke.
The Roshan sneak was good, but they were already so far behind at that point.
Right.
I feel like
so
that
I
was...
so wonder, what was that point? Where did they really fall behind?
I think the middle lane was probably the biggest problem.
Okay.
Probably the biggest problem. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
The 2 deaths very early on, I thought that E-Skills would maybe spend a bit more time mid just to secure the Lena's lane, because that's really the point where she is the weakest from a standpoint of being ganked. Like, if some heroes walk mid, it's very easy to kill a Lena, even with like a DK on the other side, which is not a hero that is notorious for being able to get kills on his own. Although this game, Nisha just... he went ham.
Yep.
Absolutely ham. Didn't even die. No deaths.
I mean, the way that he itemized also made it hard for Lena to get kills on him later on. So,
yep.
I think this is one of the poorest Lena I've seen, like less than 10k net worth.
Yeah, it was definitely a struggle. And the other thing too about the DK pick is Juggernaut is not really good against Dragon Knight. Like you want to Omni and get a kill on a core. You know, that's like what Juggernaut does in team fights, and then you get out of that and you spin. But if you Omni a DK, the Omni is like very seldom going to kill a Dragon Knight.
Sure.
He just has way too much armor. And if you're not able to just burst him down in a time of a global silence, then he can just run away. So
didn't even felt like the need to get that BKB. So yeah, like you said, Nisha, amazing DK game, definitely the MVP, and that is going to put Team Singularity one victory on the board. I don't know what's coming up next.
I don't either.
That's what you get with Andy and myself. But we're going to take a short break. I think we're going to change the casters up a little bit. And yeah, we'll see you after a break. Or I guess we'll sit here for a bit more.
I'm okay sitting here. It's no problem. It's nice in here. It's a
well
well-ventilated and air-conditioned building.
It's a bit warm.
Is it warm? Well, you're wearing a leather jacket.